Rolf the narrator. Good. Now obviously we know that because we got two different markings here for him. But don't fall into the trap of Rolf being the narrator. Don't fall into the trap also of the narrator not being involved within the story, because remember, we do have a first-person narration that's going out. So Rolf, we would know that he's pretty much the protagonist. He's going to be the main character. Career-wise, what do we know about him? He's a news reporter. Mark, do we get a sense if it's newspaper or TV that he predominantly works with? TV. So his job is to go out there, interview, has the camera, all those kinds of things. So we got a news reporter. Remember, he's not there when the event unfolds. He travels over to see it. Relation of the narrator to Rolf?
That's girlfriend.
Okay, girlfriend, not wife.
I didn't say that.
I said significant.
Yeah, significant other would work. So girlfriend / significant other. Evan, do you remember how she's seeing these events unfold? The narrator?
She's a reporter.
No, she's not a reporter. Okay, so she watches the events.
Oh, I have.
He did.
I was
Evan, all you gotta go is be like, hey, did you get an 18 out of 18 on Monday's Google Classroom assignment? No.
Oh, I don't know if I did or not.
Did you?
You didn't, but he did.
Oh, I didn't?
No, you didn't.
Was I close?
I don't remember. All I know is Evan separated himself from the pack. There you go.
Wait.
Evan, you're 100%. Yeah.
Azucena, Katerina, obviously two different characters. What's the relationship between these two? What would be something that would make them similar for Azucena and Katerina?
Well, to Rolf, he didn't look for Azucena like he left the arena.
Okay. So, and we'll go into some more description things with them, but similarity connects Azucena and Katerina in Rolf's mind. He doesn't want to leave either one. And really, with Katerina, this would be he didn't want to leave, but he ends up. But so number 5, similarity connects Azucena and Katerina, Rolf's mind. He doesn't want to leave either one. Logan, what did you have for this?
I said that both young girls are studying.
Okay, so both girls are stuck in situations beyond their control. So, for Azucena, what is the situation that she's stuck in? Okay, so she's physically stuck in mud. It's an environmental issue that she would be dealing with. So when we're going into, our description of her as a character, she is the tragic victim stuck in mud. I'm going to put /clay, since that's kind of part of what the title is that we're looking at. What is the situation that Katerina is stuck in that's beyond her control? Yeah, that's yours. Part with her father, and part father is embarrassed, or father is upset about limitations with her mental disability, and so you get the sense that there's abuse that would be taking place. But this is, remember, Rolf's younger sister. Who has to deal with mental disability that her father takes out on her. Rolf grows up during what era or what time in history? World War II, specifically Holocaust era, where he's in Europe before he would be coming over. Not when not like he would be growing up during Holocaust. The story takes place post World War II. More like 1980s that would be happening. Brendan correctly identified earlier when we were just talking about stuff that the details affecting the town. Remember, what's the initial problem that happens? We got a volcanic eruption. So you have a volcanic eruption which leads to an avalanche. And then as that snow is melting, that is leading to the mudslide that would be destroying the town. Okay? So the initial problem would be a volcanic eruption, turns it into an avalanche, which turns it into a mudslide. And from a victim standpoint, remember, we're taking a look at about 20,000 people. Number 3, why is the narrator so upset about the continual news coverage of Azucena's plight? And there could be a couple things that we have going on. To have continual news coverage, they continually have what supplies coming in. More cameras, more technology, but they can't get a pump to save her. Plus, by focusing on her, why would the news coverage be focusing on poor, young, tragic victim in a mudslide?
Views.
It's viewership, and we might not say it's entertaining, but they're looking at it from, more of a financial thing. So upset about the lack of a pump, as well as the media preying, as in predator prey, preying on her plight. Not that kind of preying. Roll's chief objective, after realizing that Azucena will probably die, on her plight. I know, I'm scrambling. Upset about the lack of a pump, as well as the media preying on her plight. He wants her to at least die peacefully. For the back with Man in the Water, I know we're pretty good so far as what's going on with the plane crash. What's probably that makes this tragedy most unique so far as plane crashes would go? How quick it is, and I'd also say the involvement of traffic, the bridge. The bridge is what really kind of separates this. So, involvement of the bridge / traffic, because you usually aren't going to have an airplane going down in a highly populated area. The two natures that are in conflict, we have Mother Nature, the environment, going against human nature. Main thing I wanted to make sure we're okay with are who these folks are. Are any of these people the Man in the Water? No, we don't have an identity for him. He's anonymous at this point. Lenny Skutnik is different from these two in that he does what? He's the guy coming home from work who jumps in. So he jumps into the Potomac, which is the river, to save a survivor. These two, and you're not going to get a question as to like who does Lenny Skutnik save or anything like that. These two work in tandem, and that remember they are both with the helicopter rescue team. So you're not going to have a question about who does Lenny Skutnik save, but there could be a question trying to distinguish who's Lenny Skutnik as opposed to Donald Usher, as opposed to Eugene Windsor, as opposed to the Man in the Water. The Man in the Water, I told you his name was Arlen Williams. That never shows up in the story. You're not going to have any questions about data, as to who his identity would be and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you look over the non-fiction articles that go along with the news text. That would be the one thing that can kind of get in your way. Last thing, before you leave, what's the difference between subjective and objective writing? Subjective shows emotion. So kind of think of that as subjective shows emotion, objective bias. Yeah, more like fact. Well, I just said, hey, real quick.
Come on, Evan, let's go. Come on.
That would be a pretty good indication that, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.